Okay, so I wanted to do an instructional video on how, just a couple of tips while you're drawing your positive and negative drawing here. And also, I wanted to show you how you can use charcoal to shade in the negative space. Since charcoal is a new tool that we're using, I wanted to give you some tips on how to do that. So as you can see, my drawing is coming along, and I am doing, I'm focusing on the positive and the negative shapes, just like I showed you in class. And I'm almost done. I'm kind of moving over to this side in a minute. Um, a lot of what's left of my drawing here at the bottom is um, just the pot that this is sitting in, um, and that's all going to be positive space. So I just have to figure out how big it's going to be, and I feel it's about right there, and just put that in. I don't think I have room for that apple. Let's see, so about that much. And then on this side, I have a couple more leaves. Let me just hurry up and kind of finish this part, just so that I can show you guys what to do next. Let's see. So, a couple of things. When you are drawing and you're focusing on drawing the negative shapes, sometimes you just have to draw the positive shape, as if you were drawing through things, and then go back and erase the lines that you don't need. For instance, where things overlap, right? So if you take a look at this area right here, there's one stem that's going this way, and then there's another one that goes right behind it, right? And it would continue over here, okay? So what you need to do before you shade in the negative space, if you can see this, how it overlaps, because I want the positive space in this drawing to be a composite, you're going to need to come back and just erase any areas that overlap, okay? And you can sort of see, like right here, see that line right there? So I have to make sure that I come back and erase that line, okay? Because the positive space, the object has to has to turn into a big giant shape, right? And there shouldn't be any areas like this that are closed off. So I have to make sure that I go back and just look over my drawing, okay? And make sure that all of these make sense. And you can see that I have lots of lines. I draw using lots of lines, and then when I'm ready, the lines that I want, I keep, right? And I could just go back and clean that up easily. Let me just put that in. There's a couple more things here, and I see a little bit of the back of that, of the pot. Alright, the planter. Okay, so I have to definitely, you see right here, in order to get the shape of this leaf, I did draw a line, and that's okay to do, but before I go, I'm just going to erase that, and I'm going to erase this, okay, and here, alright, so just a couple of things to remember. I think I'm almost done here. I have a couple more things to draw. Let's see. And something that might help you, and I keep doing this over and over again, is I close one eye And sometimes I'm just doing a sort of blind contour line drawing. Um, yeah. So like right here, like this is a big leaf, and I drew the line of symmetry in there, just so I know where things are supposed to line up. And eventually I'll erase that line away, especially before I start to put in any more. But sometimes you gotta have some of those lines in there. And actually all of this is gonna go. I don't need any of that. Okay. But there is a little shape I need to keep there. It's like the back of the pot. If you guys can imagine, this is like a pot. So this is like the little space right there. Alright, so yes, definitely need to erase a couple of things here. I think this swings this way, and then this goes this way, so this I have to erase that. Yeah. And get rid of that. So let's see, that goes there, stops there, and I think there's one more here. And notice that I'm drawing all the way to the edge of the paper. If there's anything that needs to go there, definitely go all the way to the edge. And that's okay. So I've started to shade in the negative space, and I just want to go over a couple of things. I want to go over a couple of these things with you guys, because I know that charcoal is a new tool that we're using. I'll show you what I have. I have a charcoal pencil, okay, with a lot of the lead exposed. And the way that you make the lead, the way that you get that part to expose is just to take like a utility knife or an X-Acto knife and just carefully take away some of the wood part, okay? And I know some people like to like expose a bunch of it, but I don't, because then it just breaks. So that's pretty good. If I wanted a sharp point, if I wanted this to be a complete sharp point, I would just roll it on a piece of sandpaper back and forth, and I would get a nice sharp point. But for what we're doing, that's good. The next thing is I have a piece of compressed charcoal. Okay, it's just a solid piece of charcoal, and you can see it does get on your fingers. All right, if you don't like, and you're not gonna like the charcoal on your fingers, you can wear gloves, or you can put a little piece of tape on the back, so that's where you hold it. Okay, some ideas. I don't care, it washes off easily. I have a pink eraser, okay, to erase any smudges. I also have a dirty stump or tortillon, and I also usually, when I work, I usually have like a dirty one, and then I try to keep like a clean one on hand in case this is not working for me. So the way that this thing works is you use it on its side to blend. Don't smash the tip in. If you use it like this and this gets pushed in, it's no good to you. So you want to make sure that you're always kind of working like this on its side, all right? And rotating it as you go. And what it does is it helps you blend the charcoal without necessarily having to use your fingers. And something else that it'll help you do is it'll help you get into like these little crevices that is hard to get into if you were just using like your finger to smudge. Charcoal, you can just fill in areas like this, but the thing with charcoal is that you need to blend it and push it into the paper. Otherwise, it's just resting on the surface, and it just doesn't look good, and it's gonna blow away. And the best thing to do is just to sort of push it into the paper by putting some pressure on it, right? Okay, you'll see what I'm talking about when you start working on it. Something else I have here is a kneaded eraser. So this is a really dirty kneaded eraser. Kneaded eraser, it looks like silly putty, and the way that you clean a kneaded eraser is that you stretch it. You stretch it and it starts to clean itself, right? And what this tool is, it's for, let me make a mark here. So say I make a smudge and I don't like that smudge, I can lift it out, or I can use my eraser to get rid of it. It's not going to do as good of a job as a white eraser or this pink eraser, but sometimes you need to just lift a little bit of the charcoal or whatever you're doing, pastel, away without sort of getting rid of everything. We'll use this more later. Now, when you're cleaning up areas, sometimes all of these little eraser particles are everywhere. Something you can use is just use a paintbrush, a dry paintbrush, to get rid of those things. Now, I'm working upright, but and you don't have to work upright, especially when you're starting to fill in the negative space with the charcoal, which is what I want you to do. You want to work flat, okay? I'm using the side of the charcoal to fill in, but I'm trying to get to the edge, but I'm not gonna try to get all the way to the edge. I'm gonna use the tip of the charcoal to push my way from the middle all the way up to the edge, okay? Alright, and once again, as I told you before, charcoal needs to be blended or pushed into the paper, and a tool you can use is this stump, or if you don't have a stump, you can use a Q-tip, and of course the last resort, if you don't like the Q-tip, some people really don't like that Q-tip, is to use your finger. Okay? And when you fill in the negative space, it has to be solid and it has to be completely blacked out. So that might mean that you need to come back with more charcoal and blend. As you can see, this process is going to take some time to get it all done. Charcoal turns into small little particles, and you definitely don't want to inhale them. Take your drawing over to the trash can and shake it out, or take it outside and shake it out where there's no one. Don't just blow the particles into the air, okay? It's not something you want to do. What else? Let's see. When you're done, completely done, just take a extra sheet of paper, like piece of newsprint, and put a cover page over this. Just put 2 little pieces of tape so that it becomes a flap. And that's a way to store your work. And it'll keep it from smudging anymore. Always just get into the habit of putting like a cover sheet over your drawings. Okay? So I'm just gonna keep working on this. Can't think of anything else. So I hope that this video helps you as you work on your positive and negative drawing this week. Okay? Oh, one more thing. Say that the charcoal got into my positive space, and I didn't want that to happen. So just make sure that you clean up your edges. Alright, take your white eraser, which is the best eraser for this, or pink eraser, and just clean this up. Okay? You don't want like these fuzzy edges. You want this to look sharp and clean. Okay? So what happens is when we're using our finger to blend, is that sometimes our finger will smudge where we don't want it to smudge, and so then you just need to take an eraser and clean up those edges.